Well, good morning, you sexy Hubbards. It's time for an alternative paper review. First up to the Times, who lead with crisis for parents over free childcare. Now, this is the story that the government expansion for free childcare, which presently gives you 30 free hours a week in term time, and that's for children aged 3 and upwards. Well, that was due to be expanded for 2-year-olds also, and you would get 15 free hours for those. But now the Times are reporting that the expansion is beset with delays in allocating funding, staff shortages, and good old IT problems. What does that mean in English? Well, it means the government made a promise to parents on the back of a fag packet, and now it's all getting to crunch time, it's all falling to pieces. But don't worry, I'm sure these tax cuts that were impossible only 6 months ago will turn out to be just fine too. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about childcare in 2024, but it is astronomical in cost. Like, I have a son, and he spent an hour and a half at a childminder 2 days a week. And then at the same period, we had a then 2-year-old daughter who spent 4 days a week. So neither one of them are doing full-time childcare. And even that, just that, cost me $1,000 a month, £1,000 every month. I've got my accountant phoning me up, advising me, like, do you know, it's probably more advisable to lease a child going forward, because this doesn't stack up at all. And remember, that's just to afford for me to be able to go back to work every day. And here's the wild part, is I'm one of the lucky ones. Like, my salary could afford to take that hit, kind of, ish. I mean, I was broke because of it, but I could, survive. But now imagine being a parent on 25 grand a year or minimum wage. Like, it would be better if you just didn't work. You just end up in debt trying to contribute to the economy. Even with my salary, like, I found myself going to like dinner parties or like, end of year reunions, and I'd have like my best mate come up to me and go like, so how much are you on these days? And I'd tell him and he'd be like, oh, okay, all right. So you're approaching sort of baller status. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I mean, look, I've worked hard. I've made something of myself. Yes, my salary may appear to be quite good, but I promise you, I am only the temporary custodian of that money. Most of it goes to the nursery. And of course, all of this has gotten worse under the Tories. So I'm like, and this is supposed to be the party of aspiration? Is it? Whose? The childminders? But yes, the new 15 free hours for 2-year-olds is now supposedly so ill thought through and substandard that there are reports of nurseries withdrawing places if they are to be funded by the government scheme. Which might sound cruel or like rash by the nursery if the government are like, oh, here's 15 free hours for your 2-year-old. And then the nursery are like, yeah, we're not accepting that. But it's because the government are basing the cost of these 15 free hours on the real terms cost of about 13 free hours. And so that leaves the nursery short and scrambling around for ways to sort of plug that gap, recoup their losses, which means what? Like, it means fewer staff, it means worse food, fewer activities for the kids, or, top-up fees, like charging the parents who use the free hours extra for things like little snacks or lunchtime food that perversely you wouldn't be charged if you are paying the full rate. It's just scrambling. It's just trying to water down the 15 free hours deal. Like, it reminds me of the time I worked in sales for Computer Centre. And when they gave me the job, they were like, yeah, you could make £500 commission if you sell this industrial printer. You could make £1,000 in commission if you sell one of these server thingies. And then you would sell a few of them. But then they would be like, right, well, here's your gross sales commission statement thing. But you will notice just underneath, like, we've had to subtract the cost of a lot of other things. Oh, right, okay. Like what? Well, the warehouse guys, they had to move the stock around, and then the logistics firms, they had to ship it from A to B. Right, but that's your cost, isn't it? You run the warehouse and you book the courier. Like, you're the business, aren't you? Like, I'm sales. I've done my end of the bargain. The warehouse guys and logistics folks, like, they were all coming into work anyway, and you pay them to do that. So why am I being charged for this? Right, yeah, no, I know it seems weird. I know it does seem a trifle unfair, but this is just how it works. Right, well, Well, like, how much have I actually made? Right, well, you've worked very hard, you have done, and in recognition for that, for you having sold all of these machines, we at Computer Centre are delighted to reward you with this one shiny penny. Oh, great. So anyway, yes, the childcare for 2-year-olds, that whole thing appears to be in tatters, and there are reports of problems with the IT system behind it. I mean, I think if the last month has taught us anything, it's to not trust government-backed IT systems with anything, hasn't it? I mean, that's the lesson I've learned from media coverage of the last 4 weeks. I would be treading super carefully with any government-backed IT system, regardless of Times headlines. You're going to end up registering for one of these nursery places and then come away with Fujitsu having put you on the register. Anyway, speaking of abysmal childcare, we move now to Robert Jenrick, who's taking a break from mean-spiritedly painting over children's murals to share his ambitions for the Tory leadership. And this is on the same front page that is covering fellow Disney hater Ron DeSantis, who has just dropped out of the Republican race. It's weird, isn't it? Like, well, what is it about these fundamentally unlikable sociopaths who appear to have some innate problem with children's cartoon characters? What is it about them that makes them think, yeah, I think I should go for it. I think people are going to like me. It is a level of delusion and misplaced confidence rarely seen outside of satirical YouTube channels. Finally, to basically all of the papers carrying the news that Sarah Ferguson has had a skin cancer diagnosis, which is obviously very sad and frightening for her, I'm sure, if it's true. And if it is true, then we wish her the very best with her treatment and hopeful recovery. But doesn't it, like, am I going to get into trouble for saying this? Like, doesn't it strike anyone else as a bit weird that all of these health problems across the royal family are all coming out now at once? Just after Prince Andrew's noncery comes back across the front pages. Like, isn't that odd to you? It's like, hey, Andrew got the Queen to pay £12 million to make allegations that he raped a trafficked teen go away, and it's just been backed up by separate testimony and flight logs that he was at a full-on nonce-burger party on Paedophile Island. The PR machine kicks in like, somebody get me the Buckingham Palace doctors! We need a shot of sympathy, stat! You know, public opinion of the royals has tanked recently. Quick, Kate, come here. Tell them that you're going in with a tummy ache. Charles, you can have an enlarged prostate. Sarah, what were you famous for again? Hanging around on a sun lounger, getting your toes sucked. So maybe skin cancer. Okay, and action. Poor Windsors, man. Dropping like flies, aren't they? It's like, how can one family have so many health problems in the space of just 2 weeks? You know, it's like a family off EastEnders or something. Like, how could one area have that much crime or that... Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing, it's just so obvious to me that this is what it is, right? Is that 1 minute we're all talking about Andrew. Will he be evicted from Royal Lodge? Is he going bankrupt? Does he even have an income anymore? Like, isn't he's broke? What else might come out about him? And if he's not ejected from the royal family fully, then what does that say about the king? And indeed, the future of the monarchy, for whom their popularity just went below 50%. That is 1 minute. Everybody's focused on that and thinking about that. And the next, in the blink of an eye, oh, look at Kate with her mystery surgery. And what's this? Poor King Chuck and his arsehole. Oh, and what's it? Sarah's got medical problems now too. Heroic and valiant Prince William will be juggling the childcare. We're supposed to feel sorry for these people now, are we? William is juggling the childcare. Yeah, what a guy. Oh, hey, maybe if he gets really bogged down, he could try the new 15 free hours. Or, you know, if he gets very desperate, maybe he could ask Andrew to babysit.